Starfield. Oh boy, this one has been a long time coming. 5 years since its announcement. It has just released into early access with a fair amount of fanfare and not a small amount of controversy. As I'm playing this, it's only just unpacked. I've just booted it up long enough to look at some of the settings, and that's literally it. But already, I mean, the reviews came out last night for me, in the middle of the night, and were, well, caused a reaction, as you may have noticed. Especially if you've been following the hype train around this game. Now, I haven't played the game. I can't speak to the veracity of those reviews, but there's a certain type of person who tends to take reviews personally, either positive or negative. And, you know, for whatever reason, this particular game has generated quite a bit of vitriol online. Especially when it comes to what this game may or may not succeed or fail at doing. I try not to do that. I try to let reviews inform my opinion on whether or not I'm going to buy a game, but ultimately, I don't get attached to games if I see reviews that I disagree with. Different opinion. Neither here nor there for me. Doubly so if it's a game I haven't played yet. And I feel like I need to bring this up now because this kind of thing seems to have dominated the discourse around this game, and I don't want to be part of that. And I want to make it clear that I don't want to be part of that from the outset. So, suffice to say, I'm excited to play this game. There's no denying the fact that I am hyped. But it's a tempered excitement. You know, I'm trying not to go into this game with too many illusions or delusions of what it might be. This series will continue, hopefully, until the end of... Well, I actually got no idea how long this will take. But I'll be uploading one 40-minute to hour-long episode every 2 days. Well, 3 videos a week until I've decided that I've played enough of this game. It won't replace any existing series, or my series will continue on their present schedule. So if that interests you, subscribe to stay tuned for that. Like if you like the video, comment if you have something to say. All the important stuff said at the beginning, let's finally get into this thing. I've been anticipating this series on its own merits, because it's a game that lends itself to my particular playstyle, which is immersed in a character, which is trying to approach it from an internal worldview as opposed to playing the meta. I found that surprisingly enjoyable in Outer Worlds. I found I was able to immerse myself in the world quite easily there, and I feel like, based on what I've seen, I feel hopeful that the same will be true of Starfield. This is my first Bethesda Game Studios game, by the way, since Fallout 3. That's a blast from the past, really. I never played Fallout 4. To be honest, while I liked Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, which is Obsidian, but it's based on the Fallout 3 engine, and it's, like, how much of it is Bethesda, how much of it is Obsidian is up for, you know, more informed people than I to debate. I really enjoyed the Fallout games, but I didn't get obsessed with them. You know, I stopped playing Fallout 3 when I was at, you know, this was in... I played it probably in about 2013, 2014. Well, after it came out, obviously. And during the release of Fallout 4, I was kind of busy. So I never picked it up, and I was never that, like, attached to it as a franchise that I was going to go out of my way to get Fallout 4. And other things to play, other things to do, other, you know, life happening. And, as far as the Elder Scrolls series are concerned, well, I mean, I have played a bit of Skyrim. I mean, I tried with Skyrim. And I've said this before. I have a weird thing when it comes to fantasy as a genre. I say that I'm allergic to fantasy, because for some reason, and this is in any medium, not just games, when fantasy comes up, it just, for some reason, I simply cannot vocalize or fully understand, even myself. It just skips off my brain. I can't pay attention. Even if the underlying concepts, the underlying game, the story is all good. Once you get into the medieval-derived world with dragons and wizards and, you know, all of that stuff around it, for some absolutely irrational reason, it just doesn't mesh in my head. And this has been true of almost any fantasy franchise you care to name. I've tried. All the ones any self-respecting nerd should be obsessed with, I've tried, and I just can't manage it. Sci-fi, on the other hand, is my jam. As I said, I really enjoyed The Outer Worlds. Had its flaws, but at the end, I had a lot of fun with that game. And while this and Outer Worlds will not be the same game, I think there's a certain similarity of type going on here. And, you know, whilst that's not what a lot of people want, I'm not too bothered or concerned that if there is elements of that I will be put off in some way. The one thing that might be a problem is the optimization, which for recent PC games has been a problem. So far as I can tell, the optimization and quality seems to be decent on PC, and I have a computer that is within the recommended specs, but it is by no means a titan. So my current settings are mostly high, with volumetric lighting and crowd density, and motion blur reduced, obviously. Basically, the main performance issues I've figured might be a problem for me are volumetric lighting and cloud density. There was something else, but I can't remember. Maybe, might have been, I'm not sure what it was. Ambient occlusion? I can't remember. I'll hone in the settings and the graphical settings I set to something that is conducive to a relatively high frame rate at 1440p, which is what I'm playing this at. I ideally want at least a stable frame rate above 30. That's all I want. If I can get 60, ideally, that'd be fantastic. I don't expect to get in the hundreds of FPS, but, you know, I'm also recording this, and I've also heard there's some weird stutter when it comes to recording, so we'll see how that plays. I haven't been able to benchmark this. There's no benchmark setting, and I really wish this game had that, because I would have liked to have done a bit more refining before actually playing it, so I could get my, first impressions without going into the game ahead of time. But, you know, that'll have to do for now. If it needs more... If it needs a bit more tweaking, I'll tweak it, and I'll let you know. I don't have much else to say. I'm thinking I'm going to set the game to hard, but I want to see, yeah, difficulty levels affect damage and chance to encounter legendary enemies. So, I don't want very hard, but I think I'll stick it to hard. All of this seems fine. Save on pause. All of these, like, auto-save measures seem, you know, entirely reasonable. Yeah, everything seems fine. I'm leaving most of the settings as is. Subtitles are on. Yeah. I'll have to go through the controls. There will be changes made to controls. Like, for instance, throw grenade is set to mouse 4. What's set to mouse 3? Toggle POV. No, I don't want it there. Sorry, I'm actually going to mess around with controls now, because I know I want melee on mouse 3. And toggle POV has been set to V. I can live with that as a view setting. I don't like it. I want middle mouse for melee. And grenade is on G. Activate. Yeah. All of this. Reload or sheath weapon. I presume you hold it to sheath or holster. Yeah, there's a lot of things there. As I come across them, as I come across, like, gameplay elements, I'll probably tweak the controls to suit me. And what I go with, but I figured I'd make that change first. I don't think I can delay it any longer, or talk nonsense about it. I'm going to play it. I've obviously going in spoiler free. I've seen the direct. I've seen the Starfield direct, and I've seen the some of the trailers, but I've kept away from any story spoilers. I know some of the lore around it, but, you know, as for story beats and really in-depth analysis of this game, I'm in the dark. So yeah, let's start a new game. So that's where I'm coming from. And I have got an idea of where I want to go with my characters. I'll get to that when we get to the character creator. I'll discuss what I kind of have brewing in my mind. Whether or not I can accomplish it will be up to find out in this game. We're going to find out exactly how much role-playing I can do. Soul date, May 7, 2330. Argos Extractors Mining Outpost. Moon of Vectera.
Seals are good. Oxygen's good. Just do what you did last time, and you're fine. Follow my one simple rule. Hella, what's my one simple rule?
Listen to Lynn. Boss lady knows best.
Exactly. Listen to me. Mining's just like any other job. Go steady, go safe, go home with a pocket full of credits at the end of the day.
So it's not like any other job
totally.
then.
It's just like, now working the Star Dock. Except, with more cave-ins, lasers, and accidental dismemberment.
Very helpful. Thank you.
You're gonna be fine. Your first outing was solid. And, let's be honest, it ain't exactly astrophysics.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Yeah.
Supervisor Lynn and
the fact
Hella,
that I
by the
can
way.
pinpoint a helium deposit from 300 meters.
Not untrue. A shame we won't find it.
Oh, I've now got control of the mouse.
But the metal deposits alone should pay for our own helium. Hell, after this, we'll have enough jump fuel to bounce from one end of the settled systems to the next.
Hey, more minerals, more money. And so the cycle repeats itself.
Just no more unauthorized jumps in the house for room space, okay?
He's just a big baby. There are worse lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most Dusties don't even make it this far. I have a good feeling about you.
Group hug now or at the end of the shift?
One of these days, Hella, I am going to leave you behind.
Promises, promises.
And we start out as a space miner. Alright. No character creator yet. I'm just in the game.
A little longer.
Now, I am noticing a bit of stutter,
Always. But not you. Check on Isabel.
but
Make sure she eases up on the breach. I don't feel like getting buried alive today.
do I need to pick something up? No, I'm just following you.
Remember, Dusty, keep your breathing steady.
But otherwise it seems
Never
smooth.
Take that helmet off down here. Oxygen processors.
Am I Dusty?
This far.
Or is he Dusty? I don't seem to have a helmet on, but I'll take your word for it.
On a rock with breathable atmosphere.
Know what I love about working in Freestyle Collective space? Fewer regs. A job like this at the United Colonies? Huh.
You know what? I'm having very similar ideas. I like the idea of fewer regulations and laws, especially for what I have planned. I can talk to Supervisor Lynn now, so I shall.
No! No. It's a laser, not a sledgehammer. Ease up. Benny,
That's something you have to say to people.
Per break, you'd be a millionaire. Let's go.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
with me.
okay.
Alright, you're just
What do
chatting
we
to
say,
her.
Dusty? You make your cut,
Oh, Dusties
you
are what
get
you
your
call
cut.
these guys.
No exception.
Miners,
Come
it's
on,
a
pick it
slang
up.
term.
Troy, what's the yield?
Minimal at this point. Occasional glimmer, but it's weak.
What do you think? Stay the course?
No, ma'am. Juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Well, okay then.
You gotta find
Let's
another
call this one
vein.
cut. Why don't you move over to that big vein we looked at?
Yes, ma'am.
It looks good down here. I'll start with that. The visuals, I mean, it's running relatively smoothly, but, I mean, we are in an enclosed environment. We'll find out when we get to the more open areas. It is very pretty. I mean, the lighting is spectacular. Let's start with that. I guess this is one of my lasers. You gonna have me pick that up?
Dusty, you're up. Grab a cutter and mine what
Okay.
you can.
I am a
Metal
Dusty.
deposits are in that cavern. I'll
You
shout
want me
out when I
to-
need you.
Alright. Alright. Go do some mining. Apparently this is my job. What was my job beforehand, by the way? I'll get to decide that, I know. Alright, you want me to go over to these nodes and mine them.
Now I hear
The
this is
nearest
the
ones
last
are over
day.
here. Alright. Let's make some money. Beryllium deposit. Boing. Boom. Well, I mean, this feels like something that could have been automated.
Fancy pamphlets?
I think I'm in massive amounts of debt. Or on the run.
I'm busy.
Or there are other possible.
Anyone else to bother?
Apparently not. This one seemed like she was talkative, but I forgot to talk to her. That's alright. We want to make good impressions to our boss. For starters. The last thing we can afford is to be lax on our first day. Now, it automatically recharges, but I don't know if that's going to be true of the...
More digs to go before I feel like talking to you.
Understood. Minor. Your name is Minor, so I'll just presume you'll be important at some point.
Come on. It's
Or
time.
maybe not.
You're with me.
Alright. I got what you needed. I mean, the system of mining feels like it's easily automated. Now, I can't seem to move at a walk. I might actually quickly check that real quick. Sorry. Bindings. Is it set to walk? Or maybe caps lock, toggle auto run. There we go. Now we gotta walk. Caps lock. That's it. That's the number. If I hold... No, V isn't changing. I'm at first person for the time being. Right, so they've just cracked open a new section of the mine.
Hella, get the readings.
Hopefully this should be a stronger vein.
About
Or
that.
possibly contain some artifacts.
Not if you consider
That much I know, obviously.
gravity reading's a problem.
There's gonna be
I
something alien in this one.
What we're after? It'll read
Which-
as an anomaly.
This does remind me of the
I'm told
alien,
anyway.
by the way. I feel like that should be mentioned.
Relax. It's just another job. Come on.
It's all industrial and retro-futurist, and that movie is great, and the spacesuits remind me heavily of the Alien franchise.
Yeah, everything is just...
You guys have torches. Do I get one?
There's something really effed up about this.
Where is it, Hella?
Through there, I think.
Okay, you're up. Something goes wrong in there, we'll come get you.
All right, send the expendable
Why would
guide.
anything go wrong?
Would you shut up? Both of you do your jobs. Client is on his way.
Right, fair enough. Okay, I'm the expendable one. I suppose I'll go in case something kills me. I'll let you guys know. I'll yell out if I'm dying. Hold F to turn the flashlight on and off. Very good. All right.
Still getting weird gravity readings. I guess that's a good thing. Just keep going.
I'm not sure it is, buddy. I think weird gravity readings is something you should avoid and have properly investigated by, like, automata, drones, something like that.
Do you see anything?
Yeah, floating rocks. Yeah. Well, what would you expect with weird gravity readings, bar floating rocks? This is exactly what I expected. So technically everything's going according to plan. I'm touching that, aren't I? You want me to touch it? Do you want to mine it? You want me to touch it? Again, I would be like, yeah, weird readings, lock the place down, let's get someone who knows what they're talking about to look at this. But since we're just some scrub, let's go fiddling with random floating alien shit. Oh, it does actually move. Sorry, let me try that. Bonk. That's cool. We got some calamite deposits. Ooh, it's over here somewhere, I think. I'm not sure. All right, let's just do it. Use the cutter to break the deposit. All right. Oh, there it is. No, it's just there. Can I grab it now? Yes, now I can grab it. It's a weird alien thing. You gotta give it a poke.
Dusty, snap out of it.
No. Give me weird hallucinations. I think that's going to be used for recreational purposes in future.
Okay, take it easy. You were out cold. No physical damage.
You've got it. You're holding it just
Believe the
fine now.
jury's Still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors? Ring any bells? Any of this look familiar?
And the character customizer. Alright. That was an interesting intro. A little bit of a setup, but I spent a while as my character, having not even touched the character customizer. So, well, you know, that was all given ahead of time. We knew there was a little weird alien artifact, if you've seen any of the media that's come out ahead of this game. And that you would eventually touch it, and then, of course, you've got to create a character to roleplay as. Now, I've mentioned this before in previous RPGs I've played. I like to roleplay, and I like to ensure that I don't play the meta or save scum or anything like that. I like to have a vague idea of what my character is before I start, and then as I move on through the game, I sort of focus in on how my character actually acts. So I start with a basic idea, and that crystallizes as the game goes onwards. And I have got an idea, a very interesting idea, but first of all, we've got to create a character. So we're going to need a face to start off at. Let's start with personal record 1 and just look through all the... I'm going to change this up. I'm going to spend a bunch of time fiddling with my character, but let's just see if we can start from a decent basis. Okay, I think number 7 for my starting face as a basis to go off. But I think that's a good starting position. We got plenty to do. Let's look at the body and let's see what we can do. Now, I do like this, the ability to sort of have a three sort of axis. I was going to say dimensional for some reason. 3-axis body construction. So you can choose between your thinness, your musculature, and your heaviness. So, well, actually, that doesn't make sense. Thin to heavy to muscular. Oh no, then you go towards thin and actually removes body weight from you. So you can actually be emaciated, muscular, and big boned. Let's, well, I don't want to be too substantial. How about there? It's sort of more slim than thin, strictly speaking. But, you know, it's fairly moderate body type, I think. Now, of course, we've got 2 body types. Basically overall male or overall female. I think I'll go with the overall male look. And I've got 2 walk styles. A slightly camper walk style and the one I'm gonna go with. I'm choosing effectively a slight male character. He's a sort of slight individual. As far as skin tone is concerned, see what my options are. Well, light to dark. Only 9 skin tones. I feel like you could have more in between there. Let's operate on the more tanned side of things. We'll go for a number 6. And yeah, I think I'm comfortable with that body style. Let's look at the face. Skin tone is remaining the same. Let's look at his head. You've got square, round, thin, and wide on head shape. So you can... very alien-y. And then thin, width, and width. Okay, so you can sort of choose a variation of the individual head space. And if you hit refine, that puts you... hold on. That puts you there. Okay, so you can choose the basic outline, and then you can refine it internally. Let's have a look. I think there. Next is the hair color. No, sorry, hair. Let's see what options we've got. It's gonna take a second. See, it's somewhere between the floppy-haired millennial and the turbo mullet. 22 or 37. Or maybe 38 at a push. I don't mind that either. Actually, now I'm kind of focused towards that. The kind of Anakin Skywalker hair. Let's see what this looks like with different hair colors. See what we can give him. So it also changes his beard color, by the way. This is also... You can't change that separately. Actually, no, you can change it separately. That's alright. It just sort of... 23 seems to associate it with your normal... With what your hair color is, so it's sort of color matched. And I think I'll keep it that way. I like a color matched hair and beard style. I kind of want the red hair. Not sure though. See the dark red there on 13. That's not half bad. I think anything below above 16 is not like not great. That I don't know what color that is. It's like blue and white. Looks like he's dumped a bunch of ice cream on his head. I think 13 is a contender. I think I'm gonna go with the... I'm not sure what the term would be. The sort of dark maroon, almost, hair. I think that looks alright. As for facial hair... Well, I wasn't sold, actually, on the facial hair that I've seen in the game so far. It's been pretty, like, less than stellar. Though, actually, without facial hair, that looks very much like Anakin Skywalker. I've just made Anakin Skywalker. Need a scar on him. No, I think he needs something. Some of the facial hair hasn't been amazing. I've seen, but actually it looks a bit better here. You know what? I'm going with that. And as for changing its color, barring possibly like making that black as distinct from his hair. Definitely not blonde. See, what I might do is set that. That too distinct? Or just go with matches his hair color. No, actually 23. So it'd be 13, it'll match its hair. I thought 23 would automatically select it based on the hair color, but nope. It just was doing that already. Now, I think I'll go with the same color matching thing. As for eyes, you can actually do a lot of refining. So let's have a look at this. There. I think, as a basic preset, I'm going to go with 5. I like the amber color, by the way. That's already pretty good. So we can fiddle with that. It's always kind of tough to make a decision, because there's a lot of his face I've got to alter still after this. It's kind of hard to actually hold on to what you're holding on, because if you bump up, it just deselects it. This is all good. Let's scale it down a bit. Doesn't seem to make much of a difference. Oh, that is a bit fiddly. And then back and forward. Let's have a look from the side for this one. There's not much give, frankly. Maybe actually a little bit more. Alright. And I can blend shapes, so we can actually, like, do that if I... Oh. I'm not entirely sure what that's doing. Let's bring 4 and 7 down. I'll keep a little bit on 6. I think there. For his eyes, I'm pleased with that. Ah, we do have nose. I keep thinking I'm running out of space here. That's not the case. There's actually quite a lot here. It goes all the way down. Oh, wow. Alright, I didn't see the scroll bar there. This will take a while. I have spent way too long on this. I'm editing his face at the moment just without the beard so I can see the lines easier. And I'm close to there. I got most of everything where I wanted. I don't want him to be too attractive, but I also don't want him to be, you know, difficult to look at. The beard definitely helps. I've added some scarring, some discoloration of the skin as well. Just double checking, I'm certain about this. It doesn't help that he's got the sort of asymmetry with the sort of off-color skin tones, but I kind of want that there as a feature. So there's a little bit of asymmetry there, which, you know, isn't making him extremely beautiful. But ultimately, I think with the beard, it does cover up a lot of the imperfections, which is what beards do, and that's good. And I think I've done a little tweaking with his mouth, and I think overly that's a much more solid foundation. I like that. I think I'm going with this guy. Younger gentleman. He's got a little bit of discoloration. He's seen some kind of action. Something gave him that scar. But otherwise is relatively good looking and relatively... Well, I don't know if I use the word intimidating, but you could imagine this guy's seen some shit or done some shit. Alright. Let's move on to background. Yeah, okay, in the spacesuit, that looks a lot more... That looks a lot better from a distance. I hope we get non-spacesuit clothing. I think we will. I've seen it. Alright. So we got backgrounds. We choose one basic sort of overall background, and then you choose traits to add on top of this. Now, I think... I'm trying to decide. There were three forms I had in mind. I wanted to go either... I like the idea of him having been a bouncer, but I don't know if his physicality is quite suited for that role. I mean, maybe if it's a, like, boxing, security, and fitness. He doesn't... I mean, he's... I've seen his... Like, under the spacesuit, he's not substantial. So, it doesn't quite seem to be his style. But I like the idea of him having worked before this as a bouncer. Bounty hunter... I've done a lot of that. That's the problem, is that, you know, the game's going to be focused. There's going to be a lot, I think, of elements that sort of lend to bounty hunter that it's almost a gimme. And while that would be interesting, it's not what I want to do at the moment. You know, try something different. You know, it sounds like it's too close to my character in Elite Dangerous. It's just going around being a bounty hunter and general merc. I kind of have a different idea. Definitely not a diplomat. I want to do some fighting. Explorer, gangster. See, here's the thing. Gangster is kind of what I'm going for, but the way it's describing gangster here, you were always disgusted by suckers killing themselves to make an honest wage. As soon as you were old enough to hold a weapon, you took what you wanted from anyone unlucky enough to have it. I'm thinking, while I do want to go gangster, I want to go more mafia boss than street thug, which is sort of what that's implying. Which, you know, when I don't want to be, like, robbing people at gunpoint. I want to be, you know, doing a bit of legitimate business here. Nothing wrong with that. And, of course, you know, as well as, like, smuggling and other underworld operations. This doesn't quite fill the role I'm thinking in my head. Industrialist is kind of interesting. There was a time when all you wanted was to be a titan of industry, maybe a ship designer or a megacorp exec. Thankfully, that skill set never goes out of style in the settled systems. It gives you persuasion, and I kind of want to go for persuasion, security, and research methods, all of which are really good sets, but it makes him sound like he wants to be a little too legitimate. I'd like to be, like I said, a legitimate businessman. The legitimate is in quotation marks, you can't see me do that. You know, he's not working in the system. He wants to exploit people. Well, I guess so would... I guess industrials would be the most overall correct thing, even if I were going to be an executive, but not in a sort of, like, legitimate within the system manner, more like as you would imagine a mafia boss would act. File not found. There's no information on your past life. This is the most interesting one to me, and I kind of want to go for it. But, I think I want to go for a industrialist, and I want to specify that I'm thinking here a wannabe industrialist. He's read all the books, he's done the theory, and he wants to put it into practice. Then he's actually worked as an exec. All you wanted was to be a titan of industry. Is there anything that fits a little better? Space Scoundrel is the other one. And it would fit the sort of Star Wars thing I want to go with. It's either Space Scoundrel or Industrialist. Maybe I could think about the Industrialist thing is it can go both ways. You can go semi-legit actual corpo, or you can go completely non-legit, you know, smuggling empire kind of thing. I think that could work. Where Space Scoundrel has only really got the general smuggler thing, and while that's fun, I think this opens up a few opportunities. I'm going to go with Industrialist. Persuasion, and I like all the starting skills, ultimately. Persuasion, security, research methods. Select. Alright, we're going with that. And for traits, well, I've got 3 optional traits. I want to fill these out. Now, the first thing we need to think about is where we come from, and I feel like I need to come from one of the places. Like, there are Freestar Collective Settler, a Neon Street Rat, and a United Colonies native. And a Serpent's Embrace. I think these are... No, that's a religion trait. Sorry. Yeah, I think we got basically these 3. Now, there aren't a lot of traits, actually. A little bit limited. Since you can choose 3, I feel like there should be more options. But, you know, it is there. I think my options really boil down to Freestar Collective or Neon Street Rat. And you know what? Ever since I watched the Direct, I've wanted to set up my sort of primary occupation, my primary base on Neon. And I feel like it kind of fits in with the sort of gangster theme that I have, where he was raised on the streets and wants a better life, but he's like really amoral about it. But it kind of lends... Firstly, it lends more towards an anti-establishment thing, which is not necessarily what I'm going for. I don't want him to be like some kind of anti-corporate person, or even have much of an opinion about the corpos. Also, it's not unlike... I mean, when I played Cyberpunk 2077, I started with a Street Kid start, and that seems like a sort of rehashing of that. But, in fairness, it is what I like to go with. It's a very interesting concept of the, you know, street urchin who eventually grows up to become a powerful figure in one way or the other. I really do want to hang out on Neon, so I'm going to go with Neon Street Rat. For an industrialist, that might be odd, perhaps. But there's always a way to headcanon your way out of slight contradictions like that, so, you know, we'll go with it. I don't want to have any religion checks. I'm going to go sort of agnostic on the whole religion thing. They are interesting. You've got basically the Enlightened, the Organized Atheists, the Universal, which are kind of like space Christians, and the Serpent's Embrace, which are the space weirdos, the fanatics. I think I can ignore any of these. I don't want spaced. I kind of like Taskmaster as, like, a concept of he's basically, like, high on the leadership scale. Like, his leadership abilities should be really high, and I wanted to go for a sort of commander role. Like I said, Mafia boss. So Taskmaster would be a good skill to have, especially considering it's going to mean I'm going to need to acquire money quickly, and if I want to maintain a ship, I'm going to need cash, and that's going to sort of create difficulty. So I'm going to have Taskmaster. Occasionally, if you have crew trained in a certain ship system, that system will automatically repair itself to full health whenever it's damaged below 50%. However, all crew will cost twice as much to hire. Let's go with it. I didn't read Neon Street Rat, by the way. You grew up on the mean streets of Neon. You gain access to special dialogue options and better rewards from some missions on Neon. Crime bounty by other factions is greatly increased. I also like that sort of additional difficulty. And, Wanted. I'm gonna do Wanted. Someone put a price on your head and the word has spread. Occasionally, armed mercenaries will show up and try to kill you, but being cornered gives you an edge. When your health is low, you do extra damage. I also like the idea that the reason I'm mining, the reason I've gone off to mine is because someone has put a price on my head and I'm either trying to pay it off or just keep my head down. I think all of this sets up a nice background of a, an almost desperate desire to achieve material wealth, to obtain material wealth. I think that all of this combined gives him a really solid basis for that. So that is the start I'm going with. Neon Street Rat, Taskmaster, Wanted, and he's an industrialist. Maybe he went to university at some point. He could have done. Self-made, neocon kind of thing. Alright, and we'll be going with the masculine pronouns, which I can't switch, which is strange. And my name. Now, I don't know whether or not... I know that it can apparently say your name. I don't know whether... like, how you select that, or where that shows up. I'm not entirely 100% on exactly how that system works. I didn't play Fallout 4, as I said, so I don't know how it operated in there. I figured I would have a drop-down to select what name other characters referred to me by, particularly the robot, I believe, refers to you by your name. They did in the direct. But I've come up with a name. Vincent, obviously. I think the name Vincent is a very good name. And Antares, I think is how you spell that. Let me double check that. Yeah, Vincent Antares. I just had to double check there wasn't an extra E in there I didn't know about. Why Antares? Well, one, I wanted to name myself after a celestial object, a star in this case, in the Scorpio constellation. It's the primary star of the Scorpio constellation. It was also the name of the lunar module on Apollo 14. Just a fun fact in that. I think it also just sounds badass. Captain Antares. A little bit Star Wars, doesn't it? Kind of like Captain Antilles. And Dune as well, Atreides. It's sort of, very sci-fi, very, baseline sci-fi. I like how Antares sounds as a name. Means, by the way, the opposite of Ares, anti-Ares. That's where it comes from. So he's like, not like the opposite of the god of war, almost the god of mischief or the god of deception, which is like part of a lot of war, but it's in the sense that Ares was the god of hitting people with sticks, not strategy. He was the god of combat. Antares will be the god of avoiding combat if it doesn't suit my my present needs. There will be some combat. I'm not going to be dialogue checking everything and doing a pacifist run at all. I want to have some fun with the combat. So yeah, I am Vincent Antares. Yeah, I can't hear it out loud if the game is able to speak that one, but we'll see. Maybe it'll just call me Captain.
Oh yeah, you were a real rags to riches to rags story when you signed on. From
Yep,
space
that's exactly what I'm going for.
to contract miner.
That's
Well,
what the
you
wanted
got the
thing is
sample.
about.
Client's on his way, then we all get paid. You remember anything that happened?
Well, okay, now my first dialogue options. Alright. There was this light and music. It was incredible, like a dream or a vision. Everything's blank after I went into the tunnel, or what is that thing? I think light and music. Or, I don't know if I'd say it was incredible. Let's just go light and music. Describe it.
Huh. Well, you passed out, that's for sure. Everything else, probably just your brain playing tricks. Either way, we got what we were looking for.
All this trouble for that
Who was your
thing?
benefactor? You mentioned a client.
Sure don't look like much.
Never mind what it looks like. It's worth more than this mine has pulled in all month. We'll be... the
Interrupted.
devil.
And the devil arrives. Press V to switch between first and third person. There's my man. Yeah, I think it looks quite good. Oh, hold on. Caps lock to walk at a reasonable speed.
Our constellation contact
And then we
is on
get,
approach.
like, close,
The
far,
Explorers group?
and
I thought they were
first person.
You don't
Not
look
a
good.
joke. You're just too young to know better.
Now I'm
Hey,
getting a
I'm
bit of...
just saying they got a reputation. Hell, I
Relatively
bet
low
half the crew here
performance.
doesn't even believe they really exist.
Half
Yes,
the crew
Constellation
doesn't
are a bit
believe
secretive.
Earth exists, but it's still there. Same with Constellation.
Yeah, but come
We...
on. Exploring space.
Nice physics.
Who does that anymore? Ain't the space we've already got complicated enough?
Not to them, apparently.
Weirdos exploring stuff. What a bunch of nonsense. I guess I'm coming with you. I'm just
All right, Dusty.
deciding to do that.
Airlock. Put your helmet on.
Press tab to open the data menu. And select the area in the lower right to access your industry. So your inventory. Inventory, there we go. Something in the lower left that isn't showing up. I can select... I've got my cutter, which, you know, very blocky and square. Mining pack, helmets equipped. Deep space mining helmet. Click on it to equipped. Press and hold tab to exit. Alright. Seems easy enough. The outside. That's probably what that stuttering was. It's trying to load this nonsense. The planetary exterior. Yeah. There is a sort of general fog around, which does limit the view distance. And there comes the ship. But you guys just complain about everything, don't you? Should have come here in a fighter jet to come here in this old piece of junk. There's always, however, in these kinds of things, there's always a old, burnt-out freighter. And it has to be mentioned how old and much of a piece of junk it is. I'll try talking to you again. Nope. Can't say anything. We're in a moment here. Yeah, I might have to fiddle with some
Barrett?
settings. It's alright back there, but it's gone a bit down a little bit. Ah, there's the robot I mentioned.
Yes, it has. That mine on Bendy, right?
Kazal. Hellhole. Like this place. Rare mineral contract. Your tastes are a bit more sophisticated now, huh?
I like your suit, by the way.
So,
Barrett.
you found something?
Right here. The new guy found it.
That's right. And everything went cool? Just like grabbing those minerals on Bendy?
Kazal. And no Barrett. Not cool. He passed out after the extraction. Woke up saying all kinds of nonsense.
Is that
About
right,
lights and
cowboy?
music.
Went on a trip, huh?
Little bit. I think you could call it that. I think that would be the best word to describe what I saw.
That fun, huh? Not the most gentle push into the great mysteries of space, but hey, been there.
Look, just hand over
All right.
the credits, and I'll be happy to never see this thing, or you, ever again.
That's why I like you, Lynn. All business.
Barrett, the scanners on the frontier are reporting a ship coming in hot from orbit.
Oh dear.
Really thought I'd lost them.
You led people here? Hold off the pirates. Oh, give me weapons. I want that. Alright, so starting off with combat immediately. How do I pick stuff up? E? Caseless ammunition. A med pack. How do I... scrolling, by the way, changes thing. Are you going to tell me how to equip my weapon? There we go. Let's just try switching it in here until I find a more effective means of switching weapons. You can select it here. I presume I'll get more information, but I'll draw my weapon now. Let's get cover. Ooh, okay, hold on.
Enemy detected in the
Control, I'm gonna have to change that. Oh, I haven't got a line. Look, I can't get a shot on these guys. That was something. Drop this guy. This is, needs a better sight, frankly. Reload. Alright. I need a bit of movement. Oh, you're a pirate right there. Deal with you. Reload. Okay, let's take off. Let's put on auto run for the combat. You gotta set that. I presumed it would take that off if I started sprinting. Come on. And down. God, I thought you were dead. Whoever's hitting it with that, their weapon is doing absolutely nothing. Oh god. Alright. That them? Held off the pirates. Alright. Gotta get used to that. There is a bit of lag. I'm gonna have to change some stuff. Let's take this ammunition and maelstrom. That might be a weapon. I don't actually know. Let's check that. What's a maelstrom? It's an SMG. I only need one of those, but I haven't got a lot of ammo for it. No, that's damage. Excuse me. Alright. Yeah, I'll take this SMG. And all your ammunition. Yeah, I'm gonna need to futz with the... Oh, one of the miners got killed. I'm gonna need to futz with the settings. Oh, some credits. I'll take that. And some leather pocket wear. Very nice. Overall, the shooting feels good. I just have to get used to the sort of intricacies of it.
Was being followed every time.
This happened to you often, Barrett. It's gonna happen to me quite a bit.
Now that was some fine work under pressure.
All courtesy of you, because you brought them here, man.
That means you saw it. The visions. You're coming with me to Constellation. You're part of it.
No, just like that? If they can tell me what this artifact of yours is, I'm in. If you'll take me off this damn moon, sign me up. Whoa, wait, I didn't ask for any of this. Or what is Constellation anyway? I suppose I should ask, what is Constellation anyway?
You ever stare up at the stars at night wondering what's out there? Well, that's us. That's where we go.
I don't think my character does, really. Alright. If you'll take me off this damn moon, sign me up. I want to get out of the mining life quickly.
Nothing wrong with honest work. Although, yeah, yes. See your point.
There is something wrong with honest
no,
work.
Barrett. No. You think you're just going to take off after the mess you caused?
All right. I guess I did just put you all on the Crimson Fleet hit list. How about I stay and I send your Dusty here in my place? I know, but he's not some miner anymore, Lynn.
Take one of her workers off her.
Rock, something changed. Don't tell me you can't feel it.
Why didn't it affect her? She touched it.
It's a deal. Get out of here, Dusty. You're on to bigger things.
No way, not my job. Alright, I suppose thanks for everything. I'm not, you know, I wanted to get off this rock, so let's just get out, well, while the getting's good.
Just go. Before I say something I regret.
Well,
I don't get the feeling she likes me very much.
Bosco, get him to the lodge. No deviations unless absolutely necessary, okay? Protocol Indigo.
Indigo. Again. Very well.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And it even tells the time.
Amazing. A watch that tells the time in this day and age. What a marvel. Thank you, I'll treasure it.
Look at that. The watch fits you perfectly.
It's a watch, man. It's got straps. What exactly did we dig up?
That, my friend, is the million-credit question. And Constellation can find the answer. With your help.
Well, that was a good answer for me, because I like the idea of a million-credit question. So, who are you? What is Constellation? See if we can get more info out of him.
See, that's the problem with the settled systems. Too easy to take everything for granted. While everyone else is busy playing politics, we're the ones braving the unknown, charting the vastness of space.
Well, it sounds better than being a
Without us,
miner.
the galaxy is just a big room with the lights turned out.
Well, he already said why he shouldn't go. Why was the Crimson Fleet after you?
They're just following the loot, like pirates do. I have something of a reputation as a loot collector.
Interesting. I'm gonna want to know more about that, I think. Do you smuggle? I could do some smuggling. So you're giving me your ship?
Technically, it's not even mine. Consider it a loan. Vasco will keep you on course. Besides, I'm making an exception, since you can tell Constellation about that vision you had.
Okay, I guess I gotta say this. Or I could just exit and go, I suppose. But I might as well ask the last question.
Come on. You're really not at all curious about that light and music show you experienced? Why it only affected you?
Now that you mentioned that it
Because if you
only
didn't
affected
notice,
me
we've
and...
all been handling it since with no problem.
Yeah, I
The
did
way
notice
see
that.
it,
I was wondering if there was an answer to that. There seems to be something there.
They also need you. This mystery is only getting bigger each step we take. And you're part of it now.
Alright, so I just exit out when I'm done with the
Vasco,
conversation.
Don't let him break my ship.
I'll do my best, sir. Alright, Vasco. We're on relatively low gravity here, based on the way you're walking. I didn't, check that before. You really get a bounce on. Oh, there's some vaulting mechanics. Good. There we go. I might end up playing on 1080p and reducing the resolution. So I think I'm just barely scraping 30 at the moment. I can do some, I'll do some
Ramp, Captain. I'll be in the
reducing of
external
graphics.
robotics bay.
Alright, fine. You want me to take command of the ship directly? I thought you were going to, like, autopilot it. Can I use a med pack, and how do I do that? Ooh, pharmaceutical kit Synapse Alpha. Could do with a bit of info on what this is. But, you know, if it's... I can't just take random crap off the ship, you know. I'll steal stuff when I've got a need to. But I might take this, since I was just in a fight, I'll take this med pack. Oh, it resets. Oh, no, maybe it does. I'm not sure. Didn't go away. Bored. This is the frontier. Take off from
I assume
Vectera.
You know how to fly a Class A starship. As Barrett likes to say, it's as easy as learning to ride a bike.
Bikes aren't necessarily
I will
easy to
attempt
learn.
boost the shields, just in case there are any difficulties.
Let's have a look at aid. I have a med pack. Restores 4% health for 10 seconds. 4% health per second for 10 seconds. I've apparently only got one of those. I thought I picked up more than one. Okay, I've got 6.5mm caseless and 7.77mm caseless. Not sure which one's which. Get used to that. I have got different apparel, so minor utility suit, leather pocket wear, and the Argos extractor jumpsuit. For, you know, when I'm not having to walk around in space. That's... I'll probably sell this. You can favorite it. I like the Argos extractor jumpsuit as just sort of going about clothing. That puts me as looking like that. You know, it'd be what I have on hand. And of course you've got the spacesuit, so you've got that. And there's, so you've got casual wear spacesuits. Cool. And I've got 3 guns, the cutter, the Ion pistol, and the Maelstrom SMG. I think it needs a little icon there to tell you which one's which. I did hear there were some problems with the UI, and I kind of agree there. Just like a pistol icon, little SMG, little rifle icon, whatever. So I can tell at a glance what weapon I'm looking at. There's the artifact ETA, and of course the leather pocketwear, which I will sell. I can't set to junk, though. And I've got resources, some beryllium. Not much. Value of 12. I guess I can sell that, or perhaps there's a crafting system. Alright. I don't know how to change clothes. I set this. But it hasn't changed it. I don't know. I guess I'll figure that out. Personal slate.
You know the drill, Vasco.
Oh, it's an audio log.
Means no deviations, no distractions, no dalliances, in short, no fun. Unless, as strictly defined by Sarah, said deviations, distractions, and dalliances are completely necessary in getting this fine vessel, the Discovery-class Starship Frontier, back home in one piece. I guess I'm still technically borrowing it from Constellation, even if I have no intention of actually giving it back.
You nicked it. You nicked it. Okay, so you can pick up audio logs. Nova Galactic coffee mug. Well, you know, I think I'm gonna get this ship eventually. So I don't need to steal stuff off it. I will take, you know, food, perhaps. A bitten sandwich. Ew, no, I'm gonna get, you know, germs from that. An impact driver. You know what, I am gonna steal stuff off this ship. What of it? There is a bathroom. I can sit on the toilet. 10 out of 10. No, let's get up. There is something in the sink. Another personal slate from Barrett.
Well, hey there, irate pirates. Looks like you finally did it. Boarded my ship, scrapped my bot, ripped those beautiful brown eyes out of my adorably cherubic face. And then you discovered the guy you had pegged as a treasure hunter doesn't actually have any treasure. Not anymore. It's true. I may have had a pricey trinket or two when I evaded your sorry asses at Kumazi, but brother had to buy fuel. So you get nothing, except my ghost. Because I am gonna haunt your asses till the end of your days. Which, for a Crimson Fleet pirate, is about, what, another week?
Did he set that up ahead of time in case he was killed by pirates? They'd have that. Just, you know, good preparedness on his part, I suppose. Yeah, I don't need to scrap everything, but I'll have a look. Oh, that's probably Barrett's bunk. Chunk's cap. Plenty of pictures of Vosco. A soil box. I'll take this med pack, though, because I'll need those. Take as many as I can. Take a paper airplane as well. A research station. Let's have a look. Research lab lets you discover new crafting recipes, there is crafting, by completing research projects. Each research project requires materials in order to make progress. The materials needed can range from raw minerals extracted from planets to organic substances extracted from alien creatures and plant life, to manufactured components that can be made in an industrial workbench, which I presume there will probably be one of on this ship somewhere. Now, I can put something down. I don't know if I think I need materials for it. I very much doubt I have any of them. I have a bit of beryllium. Whatever it was I picked up. Oh, this one's blocked. I need outpost engineering for this. I have nothing. I'm going to need to do a lot of this. Helmet mods, nothing. Weapon mods. I'm looking forward to this. Still nothing. That's way in my future, I think. Okay. Let's open the hatch and get on with it. Nice. Nice animation. Let's close it behind us. Shut all the bulkheads in case there's a breach in the hull. Jump seats. Well, let's sit in the captain's seat, the pilot's seat. I guess we're just outright flying it. I figured you just have it automatically take me back. But no, I get to fly a spaceship.
The rest is up to you.
Shield's ready, the rest is up to me. Then I think hold space to take off. Go, no go for launch. 3, 2, 1. Blast off. I was a little late on that, but never mind. We'll pretend I was perfectly timed that one. And it flies off into space.